Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, I got some news, breaking news on the case of the battered 3-year-old toddler that was dropped off dead at a hospital in Brooklyn, where the people that dropped them off, a man and a woman supposedly, just dropped them off and drove off. He was dead on scene. Now, this boy has just been identified by his grandmother, who's the little boy's name is King Davis. He was 3 years old. And more details have come out about his condition. And it leads to believe that, well, it's known now, this boy was dead long before he was brought to the hospital. I don't know why somebody would do some type of stuff where they do something so devilish to a child. But if they know who the grandmom is, and she'll talk to you guys in this video, they know who the mom is or the dad or whoever, and it's not going to be long before some arrests are made.
We begin with that tragedy in Brooklyn. Police are searching for the woman who handed a 3-year-old's lifeless body to a hospital worker at SUNY downstate in East Flatbush. Police say she drove off with a man in the car.
Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman is live with details. Lindsay?
Sandra, David, it really is a sad, horrible, heartbreaking story. We do know that some family members are here at the hospital right now learning more about what happened to this young boy. This as police continue looking for the woman that they say dropped off a lifeless 3-year-old boy to staff at the hospital behind me here. Here's what we know so far about what happened. Police did receive a 911 call around 11:30 yesterday morning. The call said that somebody dropped off a 3-year-old boy to workers here at SUNY Downstate Hospital. That young boy was soon pronounced dead. As staff worked on the emergency, though, the woman drove off after dropping off this child in a car with an unknown man. And at this point, police are working to get surveillance images and videos of them leaving the scene. According to authorities, the boy had what appeared to be bruising on his body, but at this point, the medical examiner will still need to determine the official cause of death. Community members this morning reacted to the very distressing news.
That's very, 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 very rough and bad. You know, I just hope that everybody will seek the Lord. Because when they seek the Lord, they won't do these things. You know, 3-year-old, very bad.
We live in a different world. The people are becoming very cruel these days. They're becoming very cruel. Because when you, like I said, it's sad. It's very sad because, like I said, it's a kid. It's a baby. You know what I'm saying? When you hear stuff like that make you want to cry.
Yeah, and it is very upsetting to people here in this community. It is very upsetting to people here in this community. We understand that people are coming together to try and find the woman that dropped off the baby, as well as the person that was in that car, that they are sharing photos that they believe to be of those two people. According to police, they do believe the woman to be the mother of the 3-year-old boy. But again, that investigation is still underway.
A grandmother crying out this afternoon after the death of her 3-year-old grandson. The child was dropped off at a Brooklyn hospital by an unidentified woman, and police say he was covered in bruises and pronounced dead moments later. Alan Devlin is live in East Flatbush, and Alan, you spoke to this little boy's family.
I sure did. Right when they pulled up here, both of them, the grandmother and the godmother, distraught at what has happened here this week. They raced into the hospital to continue to help investigators with this ongoing investigation. They told me a little bit about what they know now, and the details, they aren't good. The grandmother of this little boy identified him as 3-year-old King Davis. Police tell us an identified woman brought his unconscious body into the downstate hospital here behind me Sunday morning around 11:30. With visible bruising on his face and body. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Police then say the woman quickly left, got into a car driven by an unidentified man, and drove down Clarkson Avenue, where I'm standing right now outside of the hospital. Police are looking for both of them at this hour, trying to identify those two as well as the car they were driving. As I said, the grandmother, Kayada Foster, just arrived about 30 minutes ago, distraught, looking for information on what happened to her grandson. I spoke to her before she went into the hospital to speak speak with investigators. Here's a little bit of what she said.
Whoever did this to my grandson, the grandmother is coming for y'all.
And right now, the search is on for who is responsible for that child's death. Police sources tell us the NYCD medical examiner was unable to determine the cause of death, pending the results on the autopsy. According to the medical examiner's preliminary investigation, the child appeared to have signs of rigor mortis and lividity, indicating the child may have been dead for some time. Now, as it stands right now here at the top of the hour, we are waiting on the godmother and the grandmother to come out of the hospital. The understanding is that they are speaking with investigators inside. They first identified King's body, and now they're working to track down who innocent persons may be responsible for this little boy's death. We'll give you those updates as soon as we get them. Right now, we're live in Brooklyn. Alan Devlin, CBS News, New York.
All right, guys, that's the news. You see the grandma say she was coming for him. I got to be honest with you, man. This is very disturbing to me. Very disturbing. Said the boy had signs of rigor mortis and rigidity, meaning he was stiff when he was dropped off. Now, in earlier reports, they said he was dropped off outside the building. Now they're saying that somebody brought him in there. The woman brought him in there while the man stayed in the car. Then once the lady got in there and they got, possession of the body, to try to start life-saving efforts, she ran out of there, most likely because the police was going to be called and she didn't want to get caught or implicate whoever was driving the car or whoever else was involved in beating a child to death. This is messed up. The world is cruel, insensitive, and sick. The punishments need to match the crimes nowadays. He's 3 years old. 3 years old. And he bore the brunt of somebody else's misfunction in their life. Why? This makes no sense. Never got a chance to live. At 3 years old, the world was his oyster. But now he's sitting in a cold slab somewhere and didn't deserve to be there because other people had issues within themselves and he bore the brunt of their frustrations. This is sickening. You dropped a stiff, cold baby at a hospital and left like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Where we at now as people, as humanity. And we wonder why a lot of young people out here right now that are lucky enough to survive their teenage years are insensitive, cold, and cruel because they've not been taught anything. They're just, see, it's a big difference between raising a child and bringing them up productively. Who knows what this young man could have been? That's the thing. We constantly kill potential of us, as people in America, destroying contributions that could benefit us all for the better by destroying life. Every life has potential to be better than the generation that bore it. That's the thing I don't understand. That's my big issue with this. We're killing babies out here. People are saying they don't feel safe. What do you think a child that has really no voice feels when they're around people with volatile emotions and stuff? This is really sad. I mean, this really bothers me to see this, that somebody would do that. When you picked that child up, it was cold to the touch, stiff, still ran to the hospital in case you did get caught. Oh, I tried to render medical aid. Now watch some stupid excuse come out. Oh, he fell or something like that. But you can't line up all the bruises that was on his body where he was battered by somebody. Ain't no damn way as a woman I'm going to choose dick over my own damn kid. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once these people get identified, we'll come back and get back on this case. Truly sickening.